Good morning. My name is Tim. I am the managing director of a group of recruiters that formed a company called OmniCrut. And OmniCrut, we are trying to address a major problem in the United States. This problem is costing about $20 billion a year. It's increasing the waiting lines in your doctor's office and emergency room, and it's potentially increasing deaths. And I know everyone in this room probably have experienced, making a doctor's appointment at 10:30 in the morning and not being able to see the doctor until noon. Or, going to an emergency room and have to wait for an enormous amount of time. A part of this problem is caused by a national nursing shortage in America. All right, so what's causing the problem? If we look at any counts, any numbers, we're going to have a million nurse shortage by the end of the decade. What's causing that? Well, we have baby boomers, which is the largest segment of our population, retiring. And a large part of that population are nurses, and they're retiring as well. All of these retirees are now needing geriatric care nurses. We also have a high turnover within the industry because nurses just burn out and worn out, and they're just leaving and choosing other professions. In addition to that, our nursing schools are teaching at capacity. What does that mean? They're teaching at 105% capacity. So we cannot grow enough nurses in the United States. We can't do it organically. So the approach, the solution is an inorganic growth, and that's where the solution of OmniCruit comes in. So at OmniCruit, we are a group of professional recruiters with a rigorous interview process who are recruiting nurses from overseas, which gives us that inorganic component. These nurses are bachelor degree or higher, and they come to us with at least a minimum of 3 years of experience. OmniCruit, we're US based with a lot of foreign connections and partners, and our team has a tremendous amount of foreign experience. I'll show that to you in just a second. Over time, I've been able to put together a team of recruiters and other professionals to really fill out what is now OmniCrut. Our leaders, our founders, we all have about 94 years of experience together. And of those 94 years, about 62 of those years are overseas recruiting. The rest of our team have lived in or worked in the countries that we recruit from. So we have a very unique experience with our clients and with our nurses to share with the greater audience that we're targeting. So what does that mean? That means that our founders, we've lived in, recruited out of Philippines and India and parts of Africa and the Middle East. And all of our team have been expats, immigrants, and lived overseas. So we speak the language of the nurses that we're trying to recruit. So where are we recruiting from? So we started on the journey by recruiting strictly out of India and the Philippines. Why? Why India and the Philippines? Strictly because they have some of the highest NCLEX scores in the world. What's the NCLEX? Well, that's a national nursing exam that all nurses take here in the United States. And these nurses are taking this exam in their home countries. So we were advertising specifically in India and the Philippines, and we started getting candidates raise their hands from West Africa and Brazil, and even places like Iran. And so we built this coalition of multinational nurses with only the target of India and Philippines, of nurses who are interested in coming to the United States, work in their profession, take their NCLEX, who are bachelor degree or higher qualified. So where are we gonna put these nurses? Our goal is to put them here in the Hampton Roads area, greater Hampton Roads, and parts of Northern Virginia, as well as the greater Houston area. So when we look at the numbers of opportunities, we're targeting major hospital systems like Centera, Inova, Methodist Hospital, which represents between 6,000 and 8,000 jobs. And I'll go into those numbers of how that makes economic sense in just a moment. But before we get there, I want to talk about our business model. So we're taking a two-pronged approach to our business model. One is a staffing approach, one is a direct placement approach. That's how we're going to make money. Given the inventory of nurses that we have, and given the opportunities that are out there in the market, we feel that we can earn $1.2 million in year one through our staffing model and $3 million in year two through our direct placement model. The staffing model is a traditional staffing agency model where we hire the nurses directly that work for us. We staff them out at a 50% markup to the hospital or clinic. And the direct placement model is we go out and recruit and find a nurse. We introduce to the client. They pay us a 20% fee on the nurse's annual salary. So far, we've been able to get some traction. We've been in business since 2021, but started full operations in October. So we've been able to interview over 300 nurses. We finalized 35 foreign nurses and 50 domestic nurses. We just returned from the Philippines, where we signed an initial contract to actually recycle our Filipino nurses who don't make the cut for the U.S. but are qualified to stay in the Philippines. We're negotiating a contract with one of our new clients, a travel nurse company out of Florida, and we've signed a contract with a local physical therapist firm here in Hampton Roads area. So we're not making money yet, but we're on the road to make money. All that money is sitting over here, and when we look at the market and what's out here in America, the industry represents about $35 billion of sales opportunities for companies like ours. Of that, when we look in the Hampton Roads and Greater Houston area, there's about $99 million of potential out there, giving us about a $3 to $5 million opportunity based on the clients that we're targeting. So we figured out that we can't do this alone. We figured out that we need to surround ourselves with people that are smarter than us. And I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I was able to convince all these professionals to come on board with our team. But I've got a bunch of people that are much smarter than me. We're talking about nurses, community leaders, CEOs, attorneys, and financial specialists who are able to give us advice on how we're operating our business, both from an organizational standpoint and from a financial standpoint. So we've been able to fill up our palette with professionals, not only this list, but other professionals that advise us, which includes 2 nurses and 2 attorneys. So our biggest ask today is not financial. Our biggest ask is channels of market, opening doors with our target customers. But we do ask for $1 million to get us started. We immediately need about $250,000 to $300,000 to give us the opportunity to gain acquisition of a local firm in Manila and a local firm here in the U.S. to give us the licenses that we're looking for to expedite the recruiting process and expedite the visa process in the Philippines. That will give us a strategic advantage over our competitors. Well, we're OmniCrut, and we recruit nurses from all over the world. Thank you.